a region championship in 7-5A in 2024. Kicking off the season on the road at Green Hill, who had an undefeated regular season under head coach Josh Crouch, but a first-round playoff exit. Looking to start things off the right way, and the Beech Buccaneers have won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. We're going to get a look at this Green Hill offense to start things off tonight. Welcome back. Bruno Reagan, Lucas Panzica with you in the booth. Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline as you are watching the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. Been a long off season, weeks and months of summer workouts, fall camp, all leading up to this moment. Bruno, it's a beautiful thing. The off season officially comes to an end across all levels. The first time a ball gets kicked off a tee is on a high school football field.
And every single football player on planet Earth will say the thing. I'm tired. Well, they'll say the same thing. I'm tired of hitting my buddies. It's time to hit somebody else for a change.
And they're going to get a chance to do just that here. Beech will line up the opening kickoff. Presented by Greenway Kia. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin, GreenwayKiaNashville.com. This is Nate Krall to kick us off, and back deep to receive for Green Hill is TJ Buchanan back at the goal line. Zach Cartwright back deep as well. Awaiting the go-ahead from our officiating crew here. And the 2025 season is underway in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Krall's kick will go deep out the back of the end zone. And this Green Hill offense will take the field for the first snap of the season. Led by head coach Josh Crouch in his 6th season. And it's an offense, Bruno, that brings back 9 starters from 2024, including that man there, quarterback Cannon Burrows. Anytime at this level you have a quarterback going into his 3rd year as your lead man, it's a luxury not a lot of teams have.
Absolutely. For the OC, for the head coach, it's a guy who understands your system, but more often than not, also understands your culture, right? He sets the standard for not only you and the guys out there, but the future Green Hill Hawks that'll be out there and playing.
UT Martin commitment, Cannon Burrows, the lead rusher for this team last year, over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. But he'll be alone in the gun, sending Cartwright in motion on 1st and 10. Burrows going deep on first down. It's broken up at the 45. The coverage by Anton Wright, denying senior Luke Pfeiffer on a deep shot to open up the game as we get a look at the Green Hill starters presented by BMC Metalworks. Zach Cartwright comes back, a player that had 9 touchdowns on the ground last year, and Dylan Hawks, the slot receiver, wearing number 3, already a reliable target that's comfortable with Burrows. That's the one position Green Hill is replacing from last year's receiver. So we'll see if Burrows goes to number 3 early and often in this one. Cartwright in motion again, and they'll screen it out to the senior back. Darting down the right sideline, he's got room and scampers out of bounds. And it's a BMC Metalworks first down for the Hawks. BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, celebrating over 50 years of excellence.
See, Burrow sends him out early, and it looks like it's a quarterback fake power play, and then they have their running back Cartwright roll out into the wheel. And I think Beech kind of got enamored with that run because you see that a lot in game 1, right? Run, run, run. Well, Green Hill's trying to mix it up with some key fake.
23-yard catch and run by Cartwright, and he'll get the give here on 1st and 10. Nothing going there. That Beech front stifles it. Wyatt Davis coming out of it, and we get a look at the Beech defensive starters. Presented by BMC Metalworks, DK Williams, number 44, the lead returning tackler from last season. That's a guy that, according to head coach Anthony Crabtree, wants to chase down 35 tackles a game. Expect to see him sideline to sideline tonight. On 2nd and 10, Green Hill trying to get the opening drive to 2025 off to a good start. Burrows looking to go deep again, and he will. Has his man, Hawks. It's just out of reach. Incomplete. It brings up 3rd and long.
Burrow with the intended pass to Hawks. It looked like it was going to hit him entirely in stride right there. I think there was a little bit of a miss angle between the throw and the position of the receiver on his route, and that kind of put them out of line. It looked like the speed was good. It even looked like the throw was good, maybe just a little bit off on the end of the route there.
Cannon Burrows, who has really been focused on becoming a more polished passer in the offseason, already such a dynamic runner, looking to open up that side of his game in 2025, and they're going to the deep ball early in this one. May have to do it again on 3rd and 10. Burrows escaping on the run, finds his man. It's caught at the 40. Dylan Hawks, and it's a BMC Metalworks first down for Green Hill.
Great protection right there by the Green Hill offensive line, and with a guy like Burrow, he's going to be able to extend the play even more. You cannot cover a pass route concept. There's only so much time, right? Beech is going to have to find a way to keep him inside that pocket and disrupt his vision, because if every 3rd and 10 is going to look like that, where he has 3 to 4 seconds and can roll out for some extra time, it's going to be a long night.
16-yard pickup for Hawks, their lead returning receiver. Only 9 catches all of last season. He's got 2 on the opening drive here. And here's the first keeper for Burrows. Has a crease, tripped up across the 30. Aiden Curry made the stop, but it's another BMC Metalworks chain mover for the senior signal caller. And Green Hill just chipping away here.
Green Hill going up to the ball pretty quick, and the thing about this was a two-way go, right? It comes down to a decision for Cannon Burrow to hand it off to the running back and get a power play, or he can either pull it and attack the backside, depending on his one key read, the end man on the line of scrimmage. The thing about Green Hill is both of those plays would have been good. They're playing very physical right now.
After the 14-yard gain, Nathaniel Brogdon joins Burrows in the backfield. Play action, little flip pass to the tight end. Luke Parton bouncing off tackles. Picks up a few to bring up 2nd and 5. Parton, the senior, who missed all of last season with a torn ACL. And that man there, head coach Josh Crouch, is very happy to have that Swiss Army knife back in this offense.
Green Hill, they'll get unconventional at times. You see that sort of shovel pass concept a la Chiefs offense. Maybe you very rarely see it, but they always kind of like to mix it up, especially when you get into this maroon red zone area.
Burrows, quick pass over the middle. Hawks inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Hawks. That's his 3rd catch of the drive. And Green Hill already knocking on the door.
And you're really watching a unique drive in the sense that Green Hill has been unsuccessful at first down, which is usually a drive killer, but on their 3rds and 2nds, they've been highly efficient, and they've been explosive plays too. Now Beech, they're starting to rack up a lot of, this is where the air starts to hit you, your legs start to get away from underneath you, and you need it most here. This is where it's going to be the most physical, the most misdirection. We're in the goal line.
You can already see that comfort level between Burrows and Hawks in the passing game. And the senior will line up under center here. Piggy Brogdon up the middle, runs a man over into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Hill. Just like that, marching down the field on the opening series. Brogdon's got his first score of the season, and that's a South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction.
You are not kidding about this Green Hill senior returning group, 9 returners. The offensive line has been entirely physical. I could have ran through that hole. If you were watching the opener with me and Lucas, you'll know how big an individual I am. That was about as wide. That is a direct shot. So Green Hill does this thing where they have multiple options, C to C gap on the front side and the back side. And then when they get to the goal line, they intentionally attack a position. So all that misdirection works real well into setting up your home run plays.
1 touchdown all of last season. The man they call Piggy, more on that later in the broadcast when we hear from Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline. There is a flag down on the PAT attempt. A delay of game on Green Hill after the opening score of the season. We'll back this up for senior kicker Caden Chandler. Still well within his range for the 4-star prospect, according to Cole's Kicking. Extra point is up and good, and it'd be hard to draw up a much better start to the season for this Green Hill offense. A 9-play drive to open things up with a Piggy Brogdon touchdown, and the Hawks lead it by 7. Green Hill leads it 7-0 after the opening series over Beech as we pause for a Bart Durham injury law anthem moment. That is our Bart Durham injury law anthem moment. That calm before the storm ahead of the opening kickoff of the 2025 season. And Green Hill took that opening kickoff and marched it 9 plays down the field with a Piggy Brogdon touchdown to open things up. Beech looking for an answer on special teams. Tumbling down across the 35 is Shelton Swafford, the running back. And the Buccaneers offense will come out with good starting field position for their first series of the season. Swafford frustrated with himself. That dude can hit home runs, and he'll get a chance to do so with this Beech offense. That's led by a returning starter and senior Caden Powell, the Kentucky baseball commit. So you know he can sling it, but a fantastic runner as well, a 1,000-yard rusher last season. That tough, physical Beech front lining up on 1st and 10, and Swafford is tripped across the line of scrimmage. Will Butler coming down from his safety spot, and it brings up 2nd and 7. Here's the Beech offense presented by BMC Metalworks. Shelton Swafford, our player to watch before the game. 17 touchdowns last season, Bruno, the offensive MVP of Region 7-5A.
And typically with the most productive backs, they'll call them the Lightning. Swafford is not going to be afraid to get his head in there, get his shoulder pads lowered, and get some contact. You can see it with the way Beech draws up their plays for him.
But Powell will keep it here, lowering his head across the 45, and this will bring up a 3rd and short. And that's what this offense is all about, right? Staying ahead of the chains, just chipping away.
Yeah, they'll leave some people open on the play side from a defensive standpoint, knowing that they're a little bit too far away, and if they get ahead of steam, they can really make a play.
There's the Green Hill defense. Luka Nash wearing number 99, their returning sack leader and all-region player last year. Tall task for him tonight against this Beech offensive line. 3rd and 2. Swafford. That's Williams bouncing off a man, and he may have just enough. DK Williams, the junior back, getting a turn. And let's see where it's spotted here.
We have the gap scheme going over to the play side, and with Williams here too, this is why they're going to bring him in, right? Because Beech plays such a physical style of football. It's going to be a lot, even when you're young and you feel invincible and your body recovers more than maybe when you're older, right? These are still kids and these are still football players that are going to take a toll. Williams is going to be able to take some of that physicality off even as early as the first series.
See Metalworks first down, no need to come out and measure. As they'll fake the give to Williams. Powell looking for his first attempt of the day. He's dropped. Sacked in the backfield. Omeza Danian shot out of a cannon. The future Army Black Knight, the leader of this Green Hill defense, has his first sack of the season.
You can see this. This is what we call an effort sack by Daniel right there. He got in. He rips through the defenders. He splits 2 of them through a small space, and then he explodes all the way through a tackle. You see a lot of kids, they kind of settle in their heels. Not Omeza. He runs through his sacks, and that's why he's able to bring him down and force a 2nd and long.
Rocking the old school neck plate. That was a loss of 12. Here's 2nd and 22. Swafford swarmed in the backfield. Danian's there again. He slows him down for all his friends to catch up. And Beech is going backwards on their opening series. Coming in to clean it up was Jackson Crawford, the dime safety. And it's 3rd and forever for the Buccaneers.
And what sticks out to me when you watch the film here, look at how many green jerseys are around at the end of this tackle. This is about 5 yards deep in the back of the field, and you just see a swarm of pursuit right there. Now, Green Hill, this is still a long football game. They're playing with high effort now. If they can keep this up, they have a great chance of winning this game, but that's the question. Can they keep that level of effort up on defense?
Well, this is exactly where this Beech offense does not want to be. 3rd and 26. Caden Powell, who has been dealing with a broken finger on his throwing hand in the preseason, and Beech wants to talk about it. Timeout taken on the sideline by head coach Anthony Crabtree. So we'll take a break with them. Beech in a hole, down 7, early first quarter action on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals.
You didn't see Couch, but they called that timeout when Couch was in the crowd. He was fired up. He was fired up. I love football, man.
Yeah. I think you might have said, you said Burrow for the Green Hill quarterback. He's got an S at the end of his name.
Burrows. I think I did this last year, too. Yeah. Nash, that 99 defensive lineman, he was our player of the game. It was the Rain Bowl.
Rain game.
Burrow.
And I'm here now with Sergeant First Class Kristen Trimble. And first off, thank you so much for your service. But can you tell me how the Tennessee Army National Guard is different from other military branches?
Yes, so the Tennessee Army National Guard, we have a dual mission. So we serve the country and we also serve our state and our local community.
And what jobs can somebody have if they're in the Tennessee Army National Guard?
So in the Tennessee Army National Guard, we have over 130 career fields. So you can do cyber, aviation, engineering. There's a lot to choose from, and it feeds into your civilian career.
That's a lot of different routes you can take. That's really cool, and there's a lot of benefits in the military. But what benefits are specific to the Tennessee Army National Guard?
The most important is education. So the Tennessee Army National Guard, we cover up to 100% college paid tuition in state, and also now we're covering your health care. And then
Personal
as
foul.
well, your
Late hit.
your retirement. So altogether, the Tennessee Army National Guard, you're serving your country, your state, your community, and you're building your future.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you again so much for your service, and thank you for joining me down here tonight. And thank you to the Tennessee Army National Guard for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Sammy. Sergeant Trimble. Beech is suddenly inside the Green Hill 35 after a personal foul by the Hawks on 3rd and 26. So a free first down given to the Buccaneers as they run around left end to Jeremy Laster, the receiver, and Bruno. That is quite the bailout there by the Green Hill defense, and Beech will keep this drive alive as we get a look at the penalty.
Yeah, we're going to get a look at the penalty right here. It's a late hit. This is on the 3rd, and I believe it was 26, Lucas. You see that late hit right there. I mean, and we saw Green Hill's head coach, right, Josh Crouch. He was really fired up when Beech called the timeout. They go on. I just want to say there's a lot of emotion that comes out in week 1. You see right there where it can play against your advantage, and a silly penalty like that where it should have been a for sure punt and return for Green Hill. Now they're fighting them off in the maroon zone.
And that ended up being a 34-yard gain for Beech with the penalty factored in, as a short run by the quarterback, Caden Powell, will set up a 3rd and short. And Beech suddenly is approaching the Green Hill red zone. Anthony Crabtree, one of the longest tenured head coaches in Middle Tennessee. This is year 21 for the 2-time state champion with the Beech Buccaneers.
It's funny you mentioned that. Then he coached against me. Look at that. Small world.
Well, that wasn't that long ago.
It was long ago.
3rd and 3 for the Buccaneers. Man in motion is Laster. Swafford gets the carry, and he might have just enough. Beech claiming it should be a chain mover.
whether it be an interior yard, a first down is a first down. And not only that, you're starting to put a lot of pressure on Green Hill with the snap count. There is not a more important game than week one when your snap count is going to start as we get to our fourth. Here's Coach Crabtree starting to kind of dial it up. It looks like they're going to mark it 4th and short, Lucas.
So an official's timeout, and they'll take a brief look at this. Anthony Crabtree on an 18-year playoff streak. Since 2008, he's led Beech to 10 quarterfinals appearances, 5 semifinals, 4 championship appearances, with 2 state championships. Really an incredible run since taking over in 2005. Last year, quarterfinal finish for the Buccaneers, as Swofford's run will be just short. It'll be 4th and inches for Green Hill, or for Beech, on the Green Hill 23. Four down territory here?
Yes, decisions. And if you're Beech, I mean, I have to imagine they're going to give it to them, right? Especially when you're with a young group, you're trying to set the tone for an entire season. Do you trust us or do you not, Coach? And with a team like Beech that has that high standard, I think you're going to see them go for it.
Swofford in the backfield. 2 fullbacks in the game. Devin Crutcher lined up in front of Swofford, who's got the first down as he strides across the 25 and down near the 21. That is a BMC Metalworks first down for Beech. BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, celebrating over 50 years of excellence.
Take a look right here. We might as well be on an archaeology site because we dug up the I formation out from the Stone Age for Beech football. They created 2 walls, a lead blocker and then the off blocker. They have 2 walls allowing the runner to cut in between. That'll get you a yard if you need it.
1st and 10. This time it's Williams. And now this Beech run game is starting to wear down the Green Hill defense early. 7-yard scamper by Williams. And it brings up 2nd and 3.
Williams doing a great job of letting the Beech offensive linemen get a push. A lot of running backs will rush into that line, and it creates a lot of very hard movements for the defense. They'll react, and then your offense has to react. He's letting his blocks develop down the field, and then he's making a decision on where he's going to hit it. That patience is going to start really, really helping them out as they start getting even more movement the longer the drive goes.
Sideline warning given to Green Hill just before this play. But only a few plays ago, Beech was facing a 3rd and 26 in their own territory. A late hit personal foul on Green Hill got them into Green Hill territory with a first down, and the Buccaneers are trying to do something with it, with an offense that only returned 5 starters from last season. They're going to hand it off to the fullback, scampering out of bounds on the left sideline. That's another chain mover, Devin Crutcher, the junior, getting the give.
Devin Crutcher, he gets a low pad level and he starts moving off of the edge. That's a good outside block by Beech, too. They're really sealing the edges for Green Hill. If you're the last man on the line of scrimmage on any edge, you cannot allow bounces outside like that. It's going to be a guaranteed efficient run, 5 yards or more.
1st and goal from the 5. Powell to Swofford. Fighting off tacklers and down just before the end zone. And what a confidence-building drive this would be for Beech if it ends in a touchdown. For a group that returns some veterans in important spots like Swofford and Powell, the quarterback, but is also filling in the gaps in a lot of other areas.
Great job. You see the Beech offensive line in that play. They didn't even get a good initial push, but they keep running their feet, and they allow their running backs to get behind them.
Swofford ducking under a block, diving in, and he scores. Touchdown, Buccaneers. And it's Shelton Swofford with the answer. The ETSU commit punches it in from a yard out. He's got his first touchdown of the year, and Beech is an extra point away from tying it up.
Beech bringing in that lead blocker. Watch all the white jerseys finish in the end zone. When you're in the goal line, that's the first thing they'll coach you on. They'll bring in extra tight ends. You'll bring in fullbacks. Every single person's feet should finish in the end zone. They did for Beech there, and they get the score.
And that is a South College touchdown. The extra point up and good by Thomas Mendoza, and we are even at 7 apiece inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Heavyweight punches being thrown here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
And you don't need me to tell you this, especially if you're versed in football, but we're watching a very physical game. It's only been 2 series right now on offense and defense, right? There have been some backfield pressures, hit and misses, pretty good. You're going to see the mental errors start to really play a factor in this. I mean, Green Hill, for all intents and purposes, shoulda, coulda, woulda. They should have been off the field there on that 3rd and 26. They make a mistake, well, now they're going to have to see if they can come up from the come down.
Well, and what Green Hill is trying to do is test themselves early this season. They've done that with that opening series, and they're going to continue to do that over the course of the next 3 weeks. You look at these matchups, hosting Page in week 2 and then going on the road to Williamson County, at Ravenwood, at Centennial, before getting into Region 4 6A play. Bruno, those 3 opponents to start the season were all quarterfinalists or better last year, but it's exactly what Josh Crouch said he wanted to start the season after back-to-back years with early round playoff exits, where he told us those are the best teams we had faced all year. They don't want that to be the case again the next time this team goes to the postseason.
Absolutely. And there's something to say, too, right? So they're going from one extreme to the other. You get those great regular seasons that they have. They're out early. Now they're starting to front-load their schedule. It'll be interesting to see how, for them in the long term, that figures them into their region play, too. But they have a lot of senior leadership, mainly led by Cannon Burrows, who's going to really bring them around. And don't be surprised if they take a majority of those games you see in the early season either.
Now, last year it was a 45-14 loss to Blackman in the first round after an undefeated regular season. Here's 1st and 10, Green Hill looking for an answer. Burrows wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. He is sacked, and that is Wyatt Davis, the senior outside linebacker, getting home for a big loss.
Take a look at Wyatt Davis. He's on the right side, rushing. It was just a one-on-one right there. 4-man rush, so he's on the man side with his tackle. Beats him to the outside. I think Cannon Burrows is also getting a little bit too comfortable in that pocket when there's that initial 1 second, 1.5 second protection. He's got to be able to shift in, keep his peripherals open for those edge rushes.
Loses 7 on the play. They'll keep it on the ground here with Cartwright. Nice hole up the middle, but it is closed down by Sam Keith, the sophomore that's really emerged in fall camp, wearing number 9, a high motor, and someone that this coaching staff is going to rely on over the next couple of years.
Saw our player to watch coming in, one of our 2 for Beech, Williams, and you can see where he matters too, because he was the manned up. They scheme every block, and Williams is the backside backer on that play. That means he's the one who's going to be man on the running back in the open field. There's a lot of open field there, and he was able to trudge it down the line of scrimmage and make a good tackle to force a 3rd and long.
3rd and 15 with under 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Burrows is going to throw. Tries to just get a quick pass out to Cartwright, who was open, couldn't hang on. And it'll bring up the first punting situation of the night for either team. Green Hill will have to boot it away from their own end zone.
Beech is going to more than likely start on the plus side of the football field with each 10-yard advantage that you start with. So let's say it's a 90-yard drive. The percentages, the numbers for you analytic folks out there, your chances exponentially rise the closer you start. And right here, Beech will have great field position.
Caden Chandler boots it away. Laster back deep, picking it up on the hop, and he is dragged down. And Green Hill comes out with the football. It pops out, and emerging out with it is Mike Palmer. The Hawks with a special teams turnover as it was ripped out by LeBron Wells. And their offense will come back out onto the field near midfield at the end of the first quarter.
Green Hill and Coach Crouch, they always have a standard for special teams. It's a big focus for them. You don't see that a lot in the high school game. But you saw right there the 6 green jerseys is obviously an emphasis for them, effort on special teams, and it pays off for them.
Yeah, former special teams coordinator himself, Josh Crouch. And now the handoff up the middle will go to Brogdon, who churns across midfield. for a 6-yard pickup. It brings up 2nd and 4, and it brings us to the end of the first quarter here in Mount Juliet. Even at 7 on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
Fans, if you have an auto accident, please stop in and see the proud supporters of Green Hill Hawks football, our friends at Apple Collision Center. They're in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, or visit them at applecollisioncenters.com. When you're in need of a winning team to handle property damage, look no further than Commercial Restoration Company, CRC, your trusted local experts in commercial property damage restoration. From fire to flood to storm damage, they tackle it all. To learn more, visit commercialrestoration.com. CRC is a proud sponsor of Green Hill Athletics. Kendra Nitz Realtor is a proud sponsor of Green Hill High School and is your Mount Juliet homegirl. When you call Hiller Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, and Electrical, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Happy you'll be, or the service is free. Tint World is a proud sponsor of the Hawks. Tint World is your one-stop shop for automotive tint, audio, lighting, vinyl wraps, ceramic coatings, and more. Interested in residential...
Sun is setting on a beautiful night in Middle Tennessee as we kick off the 2025 season on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Welcome back. Green Hill fans out in full force alongside Bruno Reagan. I'm Lucas Panzica, Sammy Kincaid. Down on the sideline, both offenses marched down the field and punched it in with the run game to open things up. But Green Hill trying to take advantage of the first turnover after a muffed punt on special teams. Stay with us. The U.S. Navy halftime report coming up. We'll recap everything that went down in the first half of the season for two teams looking for a quality non-region win to get off on the right foot. Cannon Burrows at quarterback. In the gun, hands off to Brogdon. He runs right through a tackle and across the first down marker. And that'll move the chains. A Bart Durham injury law first down. Tackle by D.K. Williams, the leader of this Beech defense. But, Bruno, you look at Piggy Brogdon there. He scored the touchdown on the opening drive, a junior who's classmates with Zach Cartwright, a returning starter in the backfield, but Brogdon's really given them something in the run game tonight.
Which is good because they need that on first down. I think they're starting to find their consistency and relying on it.
And they'll flip it to Hawks here, the man in motion, and he's able to streak across the 40 to the 44. And now Green Hill keeping it on the ground after putting it in the air and going deep a lot in the first series.
It looked like Brogdon avoided I don't know if there was a miscommunication. I don't know if you noticed there. They brought him off the edge for that receiver screen, and Brogdon almost ended up taking the handoff. It was misdirection by accident, and Green Hill's lucky that it worked out in their favor.
2nd and 4. Burrows, the UT Martin commit. According to his head coach, he can pretty much call the offense as a third-year starter and a leader of this football team. He's going to keep it. A 1,000-yard rusher last season. Burrows takes a shot there across the 35. Could be just enough, and it will. Moves the sticks for Green Hill. Looking to take their second lead of the night.
And if you're Burrows, you don't want to, if you're at least Burrows' coach, maybe even folks, you don't want to see him take those hits, right, as the quarterback and the senior leader. And as an offensive line, too, we saw the Green Hill offensive line and Beech's. It's been a physical battle. They're all coming off the ball. Now we're only one quarter in, and it's already noticeably, markedly a little legs are losing it. We need the offensive line to keep moving their legs so that those hits from behind don't happen.
This Green Hill offensive line with 5 seniors starting, even without right guard Ronan McNamara, who's out injured tonight. As this time Cartwright will get a turn and pick up some yardage inside the 30. And it's exactly what Josh Crouch said his team needed to do, talking to him before the game. Stay on schedule, stay ahead of the sticks. Let's take it down to Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline.
Hey, guys, somebody that's helping them stay ahead of the sticks is the running back dynamic duo, Smash and Dash. Smash is number 24, Piggy Brogdon, and he got the nickname growing up from his parents because of his cheeks, and it just kind of stuck with him, is what Coach told us. He's the big bruiser of the duo, and the Dash you see a lot of with starting returner. Number 2, Zach Cartwright. Cartwright really gives Green Hill that big play potential. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Sammy. Now, they've got a couple of nicknames that they're toying with. You mentioned Smash and Dash there. They mentioned Sonic and Knuckles to us this past week, so maybe they're workshopping it a little bit. Now, Josh Crouch did tell us that Piggy Brogdon is the Lendale White of the duo, which we certainly understand, but it's a sobering thought to think that not many of these kids down on the field might have watched Lendale White growing up.
I was thinking it before you said it. I was like, Lendale White. This is a name that maybe, I hope at least half of our broadcast might recognize, being Tennessee local area. We're getting old, Lucas.
It's the follow-up I failed to ask Coach Crouch. Okay, do these kids know who Lendale White is? Because that's the true Smash and Dash. As you look at Piggy Brogdon down on the field, scored the opening touchdown, a 9-play drive that opened the game for Green Hill, scored from 4 yards out. And if Brogdon keeps up this performance, he could very well be our UA Local 572 Player of the Game. Stay with us through the fourth quarter. We'll tell you exactly who that is. Both of these teams looking to win the first ever meeting between Beech and Green Hill. Beech, a long-standing program in Middle Tennessee. Green Hill had its first season of existence in 2020, and it's been a long and successful road since then for head coach Josh Crouch and his team. Here's 2nd and 6. Burrows will keep it again up the middle, and he is hammered down. Hunter Smith on the stop. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Also getting into potential 4-down territory. It'd be interesting to see how much you trust your offense, too, with maybe, like, when you get in these situations and you have such a senior group, you might give them 2 plays right off the go, right? So if you don't get it, line up, hit X, right? So we'll see. Also, Green Hill has the ability to convert here, which in such a game where there's, such high level of competition, often or not, I would tell people take the points.
Burrows hands to Cartwright. Leaps over a man, still on his feet as he gets inside the red zone. And it's another Bart Durham injury law first down as the Hawks are going back and forth, Brogdon and Cartwright, and wearing down this Beech front. Flag flies as Green Hill tries to go quick.
Yeah, we were going to take a look. Green Hill, they're going to switch it up, right? They want to have misdirection as we take a look at the false start right there for Green Hill. They'll start a little bit behind the chains now, but they're going to, and that's a tough thing to get into the rhythm, too. You change cadences, you change motions. It's a lot to handle mentally, so week 1, you will have some of those bumps, but on a 1st and 10, that's not the worst place to have it.
This will be 1st and 15 now for Green Hill, backing it up to the 19. Second penalty on the Hawks. With almost 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Parton, the man in motion. They screen it out down the right side to Pfeiffer. Across the 15. He's tackled down by Wyatt Davis. Back to the original line of scrimmage. And it brings up 2nd and 10. Josh Crouch in year 6. 38-18 in that time, and this program's come a long way from practicing on a parking lot before they even had a facility to practice or play on. starting the program literally from scratch and moving their way up from 5A to 6A and an undefeated regular season in 2024. Quarterback keeper around the right side for Burrows. Picks up a few near the 10-yard line.
We've seen some attempts tonight so far, Lucas. There's still 7 minutes to play left in the second quarter, so the night is young, but it's been a real efficient is the word of the day so far. It's been a real efficient game. We're seeing 5, 6, 10-yard. That's about the limit of our explosive plays, but these are two seniored and successful groups, even though it's not as high scoring as you might think, staring down the barrel of halftime. It's been a very efficient night.
Play action over the middle, caught. Touchdown, Luke Parton. And Green Hill takes the lead as the senior tight end gets wide open.
Burrows pass complete.
The man coming off a torn ACL has his first touchdown of 2025, and it's presented by South College, where dreams find direction.
Luke Parton was someone that was mentioned to us coming into the week like, hey, there's another guy who you might see some production out of. He attacks right over the middle, and it's those times where you're starting to build the run. If you're Beech's linebackers, you're on your toes, you're not on your heels, and that allows Parton to get into that second level right behind, right into a free window for Burrows.
Caden Chandler for the extra point. It is up and good, and Green Hill leads Beech 14-7. Luke Parton, happy to be back after missing all of last season, and he's happy to be holding the ball in the end zone to help his team take a 7-point lead in the second quarter. Say again. 11.
Facebook Live and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
Green Hill leads Beech 14-7 in week 1. Luke Parton with an 11-yard touchdown catch from his quarterback Cannon Burrows, and the Hawks back on top. Welcome back to the Tennessee Army National Guard. Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. Alongside Bruno Reagan in the booth, I'm Lucas Panzica. Sammy Kincaid patrolling the sidelines. As that man there, Cannon Burrows, the third-year starter, leads his team down the field for the second touchdown drive of the evening. And this time getting the tight end involved. And Green Hill offensively is off to a great start in this game. Cannon Burrows, 7 of 10 for 83 yards and a touchdown to go with 19 rushing yards. As we get you ready for another Greenway Kia kickoff, Coach Kia says every deal is a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. Caden Chandler coming back out to kick it away. Jeremy Laster and Shelton Swafford back deep for the Buccaneers. It'll be Swafford, the future ETSU Buccaneer, probing up to the 20, but he can't get there. A special teams tackle made by Ben Labarda, the senior. And here comes the Beech offense. who had an excellent response the last time they conceded a Green Hill touchdown, followed it up with a 14-play drive and a touchdown of their own by that man, Shelton Swafford.
The Green Hill defense is going to look for some redemption. They've been outpaced by the offense, taken out of a bad spot by the special teams. It's time that they really pull their weight, and they did a good job by setting up Beech early in the first series. A penalty letting Beech get on the board. Now they're going to have a chance at redemption.
Caden Powell back out at quarterback. Up the middle. Falling under a pile across the 25-yard line. It's Swafford again. And wait till you hear about the journey that Shelton Swafford took to get to Beech High School. We'll hear more on that from Sammy Kincaid later on. But a player that Anthony Crabtree just loves to talk about when it comes to his drive to play in the NFL. Big goals for the senior back. But this time, quarterback Caden Powell wings it out to Laster down the left sideline. And the sophomore picks up a Bart Durham injury law first down. And for a Beech team that lost just about all their pass catchers from last year, they really want Jeremy Laster to emerge after an excellent fall camp. Feel like he's got a chance to be a really good player.
Yeah, at the high school level, we all know how important the run game is, but when you get to that top level, we're talking about quarterfinal of a 5 or 6A play. You need that one guy who you can air it out to, and they're hoping he can be that guy.
And they'll send him in motion. High snap, but Powell's able to control it, and Swafford able to shake some tackles, pushing the pile to midfield, and it's right at the sticks. And they'll move the chains. 10-yard pickup for Shelton Swafford, but there is a flag down on the far side of the field. And that'll be a sideline warning, this time for Beech. So each team has had one sideline warning in this first half. Those week one jitters, hard to keep people a little bit in check on the sideline.
It's only every single week one. We have to constantly remind the audience, this is to be expected. It's always in our conversations. The coaches know it. We know it. Make sure the audience knows it. Week one ain't pretty.
Williams, patient, but he is popped at the line of scrimmage. And no gain on the play as Danian came down to make the tackle. Williams, the linebacker that doubles as a running back, and you would think that it would be the linebacker that would be more of the smash if we're to bring back the smash and dash comparison, but really DK Williams, between he and Swafford, is the one that is one cut and get vertical. He can hit a home run. Don't be fooled by the number 44 on the back of the jersey. There'll be a play action here. Casting it out to the right side is Powell, but unable to hang on is Caden Campbell, the senior fullback.
Excuse me, Lucas, but that's just one of the annoying things when you have those rollouts. So let's say you're on the left hash, and then you have a play action to the right where you're faking that power scheme, and then you get a guy out to the right, and he's going to the sticks. It's like a 40-yard pass for a 7-yard gain. It can be one of those things where the timing might be off this early in the season.
3rd and 10. Green Hill trying to get off the field. Laster in motion, early movement, and this will make it even tougher for the Beech offense.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, go 3rd down.
They'll back it up 5 yards, and that'll put Caden Powell and this Beech offense in a tough spot.
For any of you pet owners out there, you ever see your dog's ears perk up? Outside linebackers, indeed linemen, 3rd and 15. This is the time where they know it's got to be a pass, right? There's not going to be an ISO formation right up the middle. This is your chance to get into that backfield and make that sack.
Beech faced a 3rd and 26 in the first quarter and was bailed out by a Green Hill penalty. See if the Hawks can get off the field here. Powell, under pressure, escapes it, still alive. It's caught and then out. Was it intercepted? No. Ball hit the ground, incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. So Green Hill gets the stop. Gabe Euler, the sophomore, thought he might have come away with the pick. And we'll get another look at it here. The tip drill.
Good call by the referees there, right? That'll be listed as an incomplete pass for about 10 seconds there. Green Hill was convinced. The coaching staff, the sideline players, the people in the stands, everyone was convinced that was an interception. But nonetheless, a really good play that had a few layers to it there.
And Green Hill will take its second timeout of the first half with just under 5 minutes to play, as the Hawks are set to get the ball back. And if you're head coach Josh Crouch, you like what you've seen so far in terms of playing complementary football that he's looking for?
Absolutely. And I'm a little biased because I come from the pro-style offense. I know not everybody lives and dies by that, but when you see efficient football, that tells me they're well-coached. Efficient football is well-coached football, right? So, and now they have guys on defense. Defense is about being that splash guy, making the player. He has that in Omeza Danyon right now. So I think he's kind of seeing the effort on special teams too. The real only question for him is, at this point, can we do this in the second half?
Josh Crouch in year 6 at Green Hill. Anthony Crabtree in year 21. You get a look at the Beech schedule, and they're going to be road warriors for a major portion of the season. The first 7 weeks, 5 games on the road leading into the bye week. As they'll punt it away here. High punt, fielded at the 20, and big hit. Will Butler was able to hold on to the football on the punt by Brock Miller, and DK Williams came down and made sure he had nowhere to go. But Green Hill back on offense when we return, leading at home by a touchdown in week 1.
Their operations are driven by efficiency and reliability. They monitor daily production schedules to determine material usage and strategically allocate resources to ensure consistent on-site stock levels. With a commitment to dependable service and supply chain support, Crawford Enterprises plays a vital role in keeping their clients' operations running smoothly. Need care fast? Ascension St. Thomas Urgent Care in Mount Juliet is open late 7 days a week. Conveniently located by East Frozen Custard. Just walk in or use Hold My Spot at asburgentcare.org. Wilson Bank & Trust is proud to support Green Hill High School football. Committed to treating people like a neighborhood bank. They offer a unique community-centric approach and customized banking solutions to help you build a bright, successful future. Wilson Bank & Trust, here to get you there. Go Hawks!
All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners Sonic, Tennessee Army National Guard, South College, Bart Durham Injury Law, Western Kentucky University, BMC Metalworks, Wilson Bank and Trust, Josh Houston and Associates, and UA Local 572, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for you viewers at home. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Beech High School, Green Hill High School.
And we are happy to be here to kick off the 2025 season, night number 1 of our Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend. Welcome back. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you in the booth. Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline. Going to be a fun one in 2025. And the Green Hill Hawks are looking to start it off with a win as they get the ball back, leading Beech by a touchdown. Looking to build a long drive nearing the end of this second quarter. Quick pass. Burrows finds his tight end, Parton, once again, in the catch and run. 14 yards for another Bart Durham injury law first down. And Luke Parton, who missed all of last year with an ACL, is just savoring every moment, according to his head coach, who compared him to Tyler Warren, the Penn State tight end, just in the way that he can do everything for this offense. Run, block, and catch, as Burrows picks up a few up the middle.
Yeah, it's such a treat when you have a kid who's willing to just do whatever's asked of him, right? Because you get to a certain level, sometimes people will be like, well, actually, I'm a this or I'm a specialist, right? Some people are football players, and when you have enough football players on your team, you're going to have a football team, and you're going to be Green Hill, who, even though they're relatively new school, has found all the success and are right now standing with a traditional powerhouse in Beech leading them going to the end of the second quarter.
And this time it's Cartwright with the carry. Across the 45, down to the 46. And it's another Bart Durham injury law first down. And it feels like Green Hill has found something in this run game. That one picks up 7.
Green Hill is going to start slowing down the tempo just a little bit. They want to end the second quarter, at least with the football, under a minute, right? So they want to score. They want to give Beech as little time as possible, try and get that shift into the second half.
Quick screen, dangerous area. It falls incomplete. Devin Crutcher was in the neighborhood. Burrows just didn't quite have the timing there as he was under pressure.
It looked like Crutcher might have been hit in the back with that pass. He was so keyed in, which is exactly how you want to attack it, by the way, on the receiver, knowing that Green Hill, they're not going to take many shots on a second or first and long right now, 2nd and 10, 1st and 10. They want to have completions. They want to keep that clock rolling.
2nd and 10 for the Hawks. Burrows over the middle. And there's that connection once again with Luke Parton. 11 yards and into Beech territory. Hawks get on the ball. Clock moving inside 3 minutes. Beech still with 2 timeouts. Little trickery here. It's back with Burrows. He'll air it out deep. Has a man and just overthrows him. Luke Pfeiffer was running free. And Green Hill trying to catch Beech off guard. Well designed by Josh Crouch and his offensive coordinator, Zach White. Just couldn't connect.
And this is one of those things, too, where Burrows is starting now to feel, I mean, when you're practicing, you're not hitting your quarterback too much. All these little factors where you start to get physical, it can kind of mess with your rhythm, your timings, just the things you're used to, right? Burrows, maybe watching a little bit too much Joe Milton or Anthony Richardson film there, hits a little bit over the top.
9 of 14, 107 yards, and a touchdown pass for Burrows. They'll keep it on the ground with Cartwright here. Pile moves across the 40, tackled by Davis. And for Green Hill, the key to the game was to roll with the heavyweights and win that battle up front. You just know what Beech is going to bring with that physicality, and the Hawks have held their own in that department. And then they'll go again here. This time Cartwright showing the speed. Shake and bake to the 15, and he is dropped at the 14. 22 yards for the junior running back.
And watch Cartwright. He does change of direction laterally while still moving vertical. A lot of backs, they'll commit to a certain part. He keeps going up.
Cartwright again. That time looked like a little bit of a miscommunication on the handoff, but Williams comes in for the stop. And just like that, Green Hill is inside the Beech red zone once again.
You might see some bodily fluids leave some linemen. I think we're starting to see the physicality of the game as we head to the last minute. They'll have a good time to rest up and get ready for a whole other half of high-level football.
They'll keep it on the ground. Brogdon gets a turn, running hard into that pile. Just short of the marker. It brings up 3rd and short. Clock still moving. Beech electing not to take timeouts here. Green Hill looking to go up 14. The Buccaneers of Beech will get the ball to start things off in the 3rd quarter. Burrows will keep it. The draw. He stood up at the end zone, and he's just short at the 1.
Burrows needs to be careful there. I love the intensity. I love the physicality. I mean, it gets me going, but you just got to be careful. You're so close if you're an offensive teammate.
That is Williams on Burrows. Unstoppable force, immovable object, right at the goal line. First and goal at the 1. Clock ticking, 35 seconds to go. Green Hill chewing up the end of this second quarter clock. Burrows gives, Cartwright spins in, touchdown, Green Hill. And it's a 2-score lead for the Hawks. Zach Cartwright has his first touchdown of 2025. A 12-play march that takes over 4 minutes off the clock and leaves 25 ticks left before halftime.
I love the 1 yard. It's 1st and 1 on the goal line, right? And the 1 yard jet sweep is such an effective play. You might think, well, why do you cover up all that field or attack the edge? All you need is one crevice. You tell the running back, stay tight to the lineman. Lineman, you stay on the line of scrimmage, find that little bit of daylight and squeeze through it. And that's exactly what they did.
Extra point from Chandler is true, and that is a South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction. Josh Crouch greeting his team coming off the field. And if you're Beech here with 25 seconds, 2 timeouts, what are you thinking if you're Anthony Crabtree and his offensive coaching staff? Crabtree does call the plays, this Beech offense, and again, they will get the ball to start the second half.
It depends on the return. You can show a true drop back. I'm sure Beech has something in the playbook. We know Beech is that heavy run, and any long distance pass they do might be based off of a key fake or a play action. You can do a normal drop back if you get a good return, but if you see a normal type return, they'll let the clock run out.
Stay with us. Coming up in the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing, paid for by NHTSA. Getting ready for another Greenway Kia kickoff. And Caden Chandler firing up his special teams unit. The momentum on the side of Green Hill in this first half of the season.
Watching Green Hill gets me on edge just because you know that they always have something in the playbook that they're ready to fire off at any moment. I would hardly doubt it'd be now, but it always keeps me on the edge of my seat. Especially
when it comes to special teams, but they will boot this one deep. Laster is the one who has a chance at it. Can't get it off the hop. And now Laster looking to use that speed around the right side. Jeremy Laster across the 30 and near the 40 as he's out of bounds with 14 seconds remaining.
For example, on this side of the field, you have to ask yourself as a coach, can more harm happen than good? What are the odds with that? Because this is a 2-play series, I would call it, when you're on the other side of the field. You need at least one across the middle and then one more to get to the edge. Well, if those of these low chance things happen, we might be able to eke out a score, a field goal, or touchdown, right? What wrong could happen? We could throw an interception, convert it from Green Hill from this. They could make a play, right? So we'll probably just see a normal run play, kind of run out the clock.
Powell. It'll be exactly that. Handing off to Swafford. But the clock will stop as he runs out of bounds with 8. Now, Caden Powell, the Beech quarterback, is a Kentucky baseball commit. Headed to play in the SEC, an outfielder and a right-handed pitcher. And while he is more of a runner, he does have an arm. So we'll see if Beech tries to chuck one deep here at the end of the half. U.S. Navy halftime report coming up in a matter of moments. U.S. Navy forged by the sea. They'll keep it on the ground with Powell. Up the middle and down at midfield. Still 3 seconds left. Clock stops. It goes down to 2. And Beech will use a timeout. They still have one remaining. time for one more play in this first half.
I imagine them using that timeout. They're going to set up the Hail Mary, right? Put 3 to 4 on one side, throw it up, see if we can come down with it. I can't imagine we'll have a kick from this angle, but with the way kickers are improving every single year, I guess you never know nowadays.
Hey, we're getting 70-yarders in the NFL preseason.
We're getting 50-yarders to win games at high school level.
No
that
doubt.
wouldn't happen 15 years ago here in the mid-state.
Where are we going to be in 10 years?
Yep.
Who's to say?
100-yard kicks.
Ball is spotted at the Beech 49. Now, Powell, who you see there with his helmet at the top of his head, has shared some snaps with Sawyer Phillips, the junior quarterback, in fall camp. But Powell will be the one to come out for this final play of the first half. Before we head into the locker room, Caden Powell facing pressure. Lets it go. Laster makes the catch, and he tumbles out of bounds for a nice pickup, but that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Green Hill on top at home, 21-7 in week one on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. We'll hear from Green Hill head coach Josh Crouch down on the field with Sammy Kincaid in just a moment. What did you make of the way Green Hill came out and set the tone in the first half of their season?
I think at the beginning, in the first quarter, they were high, they were low, they were struggling to find that consistency. They had it on offense, they had some explosion on special teams, defense needed it. They really edged it out at the end there, got really consistent. Now they need to find their feet, come out, and be on point.
Let's go down to Sammy Kincaid standing alongside Coach Josh Crouch.
Coach Crouch, I think that was probably the best way you could have drawn up to end the first half. What can you really say about being able to punch it in there at the end, but also getting a really big stop?
Yeah, I thought the stop was huge for us. I think offensively, we missed the big ball down the middle, but it was great to see our guys respond back from that. But the only thing that we got to fix, and we got 3rd and 27, and we get a personal foul out of bounds. So we've got to be a little smarter than that. But I like our team. We've got a very veteran team. We didn't hang our head after them tying it up, and excited about us getting an opportunity in the second half to go win a game.
And what's really your message to them that, yes, we are ahead right now, but like you said, got to stay composed as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's Anthony Crabtree over there. Like, that's one of the best coaches in high school football. He's going to continue to come out and do it. They've got a great team. So right now it's 0-0 going into halftime, and see if we can come out and just go 7-0.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Sammy. Green Hill leads Beech 21-7 at halftime. And we're going to break for the United States Navy halftime report. Stay with us on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
Say that one more time. Hello? Oh. I'm going to get on this side. You don't have my mic? Hello, hello, hello. Check, 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 check. This is Mr. Kenneth Powell, Beech, and he is joined by James Strong. Okay.
You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
We're proud to present the Sonic Scholar Athlete of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Brock Miller from Beech High School and Avery Stockwell from Green Hill High School. Brock is a 3-time first-team All-District. He is also a 2-time captain and part of the 2024 Club Soccer State Champions. Avery has a 4.3 GPA, 3 times Tennessee 4A All-State, and 2025 Middle Tennessee High School Softball Player of the Year. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $10,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Sonic Athletes of the Week. Live free, eat Sonic.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
Welcome back to Green Hill High School, where they're currently hosting Beech, and I won't throw the score in your face. I'm sorry, you're not on the good number right now, but it's only halftime, 21-7, and I'm joined by Beech's principal, Mr. Kenneth Powell, and also one of their seniors, James Strong, is joining us as well. And let's first talk about the facilities. There's been a lot going on at Beech. Can you tell me about these new facilities?
Yes, ma'am. 2 years ago, we had a bleachers on our visitor side collapse, and since that day, our director, Dr. Langford, has been working very hard to get us a new stadium, and it's all coming to fruition with the help of the county commissioners led by Merrill Hyde and our school board. So we're excited. We open up our first home game September 5th against Henry County in our new stadium, which is a lot of orange and blue, new press box, new concession stand, new everything. So we're really excited about moving in and getting that first game under our belt at home.
That's fantastic, and I know that you're really excited to talk about this guy that's right next to us.
Yeah.
So let's talk about James for a little bit and why he's here with us.
Yeah, I always like to kind of showcase some of our top students, and I brought James Strong with me tonight because he's one of our seniors this year, took the ACT and scored a perfect 36 on his ACT, and we're really proud of him and think that's worthy of being celebrated.
That is very much so. Congratulations. I don't know many people that can. How many times did you take it? Did you take it one?
I've taken it twice, once as a sophomore and once as a junior.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations on that. That is really hard to accomplish. That's very impressive. And you've had a great start to this year, to your senior year, it sounds like, but you've had a lot of good things going on to start the school year, right?
Oh, yes. We've had a really good start the last 3 weeks. It's been a perfect start. All of our athletic teams are up and getting started and off to success. We're hoping this changes in the second half. They're really playing hard. It's a great game. And I want to also say this. Thank you guys for showcasing these two schools on opening week. It's really fun to be on television and have our kids showcase.
Absolutely. We are so grateful to be here to showcase these two teams, two historically good teams. So thank you so much. And thank you so much to Western Kentucky for the Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have a lot more for you during this halftime. So stick with us. We'll be right back with the halftime report.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
Back to Green Hill High School, where we are currently joined by Green Hill's principal, who's probably very happy to be looking at that scoreboard right now. It's 21-7, and we're joined by Principal Kevin Dawson. And first off, let's talk about what's going on out here. We'll talk athletics first. We'll get to academics in a second, but there's been a lot of success here with the football team and athletics in general.
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, tonight, so far, it's going really well for us. So we're excited about having a tougher schedule in football this year. But then also getting to acknowledge Avery Stockwell. She was the Gatorade Player of the Year for softball, so that was a huge honor. And, of course, our softball team's had an amazing run these past few years. But, yeah, I'm grateful to all the coaches for what they've provided and their time for these athletes to be able to really showcase what they're about.
Absolutely, and they're also getting it done in the classroom. You guys were awarded grade A from the state, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so the teachers in the classroom on the academic side are really doing great things, and we were an A school last year, so we're really excited to kind of see where that takes us and if we can keep that momentum going.
Well, that'll be exciting to watch, and things are also going really well for the arts department right now too, right?
Yeah, specifically our vocal ensemble, they get to be a presenter at the Tennessee Music Educators Association conference. So that's a huge honor, and we're really excited to go celebrate with them in April.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to them, and thank you so much for hosting us tonight for Friday Night Rivals. It's always great to be out here.
We always love having you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and thank you again to Western Kentucky for this Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we'll have a whole lot more for you, highlight stats. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
At the break, Green Hill leads Beech 21-7 in Week 1. Welcome back. You're watching the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan bringing it back to the booth on this Thursday night in August. And an excellent start to the first half for Green Hill, going up against Beech, a 5A powerhouse. Let's take a look at the highlights of what took place in that first half. And Bruno, for Green Hill, it's It's been about balance. 106 rush yards, 107 pass yards. And it all got started with this run up the middle by Piggy Brogdon, a 4-yard score to take the lead. But Green Hill just playing complimentary football right now in all three phases.
Yeah, the defense started a little bit. Green Hill's only had really one hiccup with the 3rd and 26 penalty, but you see right there the pass to senior tight end Luke Parton. He was going to be a mention right there. Beech, they come back and answer. One of our players to watch, number 4, Swafford, their number 1 back there, main production. He follows his offensive line. Beech offensive line has been playing well. Red zone, outside. They're going to come back here at the second half. They're going to start with the football. Green Hill at the end of that second half, you see the key fake. They've been playing a lot of key fake and misdirection, but Beech gets home sometimes here in the first half. As you can see, number 28 with the sack there, Wyatt Davis. Beech looking to respond. They come back with a nice big run from number 4, Swafford once again. That wraps up our first half highlights. We didn't get a lot of Williams on there. He's also been a key player for Beech staying in on this game.
Yeah, as it was Brogdon who opened up the scoring for Green Hill, and then Beech quickly responded with a 14-play drive of their own on the opening series for the Bucks offense, and a 1-yard touchdown by Swafford tied it up at 7. But heading into the second quarter, it was all Hawks, 14-0. The second quarter advantage for Green Hill. That included a turnover forced on special teams, and Green Hill just came out with hair on fire in that first half. It really feels like it's a team with a chip on its shoulder after going 10-0 in the regular season last year, falling short in the first round of the playoffs, and they know what's up against them in this Beech team that was a quarterfinalist in 5A, a state championship caliber team perpetually under Anthony Crabtree. And we talked about Green Hill needing to match that Beech physicality. Does it kind of feel like it's the other way around here in the second half?
Yeah, I think Green Hill has done a good job. Obviously, they have a home field advantage, so right now, whether or not you agree, but they get the football. They've done really well. They're efficient. I think Green Hill has just done a better job at overcoming some adverse circumstances. Now, Beech hasn't had too much. Football is a game of ebb and flow. Right now, it is ebbed towards Green Hill. I think Beech, especially being the program, we talk all the time about how great, talk about quarterfinals, semifinals. They're going to come out and they're going to make this a football game. Green Hill cannot go to that locker room and think that it's up in the bag, because I've been a part of teams where you get even top 25 teams in the college football era and you just think, hey, we got this one in the bag. We just have to stay efficient. It's been an efficient game. It comes back to that war of attrition we talked about in our opener.
Well, Beech will get the ball to start the second half, down 14. Coming up in moments. But first, each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we showcase outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country. For this special edition, let's check out some of the best from the 2024 season.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
He steps up, wants to go for it all up the right side and pulled down at the 20. Inside the 20 again is Katori Marion.
Our lifter guy, a lot of their offense in one block kick deserves another, right? Still loose. Alamo Heights has it, but still not out of bounds. We can get a couple of points here. Another pitch, and they've got room. Miracle on the Mississippi. You got to be kidding. It's Max Bacon.
Thanks for himself. Now towards the left sideline, still on his feet, still up. He controls it. Jared Curtis with his third touchdown of the night as Nashville Christian.
That's it. Now just going to heave it up, look into the far corner, tipped up in the air, caught by J.J. Bush. Touchdown, Bobcats and Theodore.
This young man coming out to the field right now is Jackson Maynard. He is suffering from Duchenne's syndrome. His family has established the Little Hercules Foundation, which is something that helps the young man and raises awareness for what he is battling all across the country. A lot of points will be scored during the season in games, but none bigger than that one right there. Touchdown, Jackson Maynard.
Green Hill leads Beech 21-7 ahead of the start of the third quarter. We go downstairs to Sammy Kincaid alongside Beech head coach Anthony Crabtree.
Coach Crabtree, obviously not the first half that you wanted. What was the message to the team in the locker room?
Well, we just got to keep playing. They're doing a good job operating their offense, and defensively, we're really inexperienced and struggling a little bit with getting lined up, reading our keys, and then we gave them the ball on a short field on a turnover on punt, and we're not good enough to overcome that right now. So we just got to try to get better in the second half.
And you're a big team. A big point of conversation going into this game was the physicality. Do you feel like you guys are matching up to the physicality?
Yeah, I think we're trying to be physical. We're just not being as disciplined as we need to be.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
In the Coach's Corner, presented by Josh Houston and Associates, a one-source Scholastic product experience. Beech will get the football to start things off in the second half. Bruno Reagan, how did the Buccaneers set the tone on this opening drive of the third quarter?
I think they could really benefit from some explosive plays. So when I define explosive plays, specifically from that man, number 4 right there, Shelton Swafford, they need to try and it sucks because Beech is one of those teams that's going to wear you down. I always talk about the softening process if you're ever familiar with me. That's where the explosive plays come in the second half for run-heavy teams. Now that we've gotten them, those 2-yard plays, those will turn to 3 to 4. Those 4-yard plays, they'll turn into 6, 7. Just kind of the defensive ebb and flow. Beech is going to start racking up, and those efficient drives are going to start turning explosive just because of the physicality. That's what head coach Crabtree is talking about right there. We'll see if we can match the physicality. I believe Beech will. I've seen it, played against it, watched it. Now we just need them to be disciplined.
10 carries for the ETSU commit, Shelton Swafford, 47 yards and a touchdown, and Cannon Burrows with a passing touchdown in that second quarter, but marshaling this Green Hill offense to a 21-7 halftime lead. The senior, the UT Martin commit and 30-year starter, 9 of 14 in the first half with 107 yards and a touchdown in the air, plus 30 rush yards on the ground. But he'll have to wait to get the football back as both teams are getting ready to kick off the third quarter here in week 1 of the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Getting ready for another Greenway Kia kickoff here with Beech getting it back down 21-7. Both trying to set the tone to start their season with eyes towards a deep playoff run. Green Hill in 6A, Beech in 5A. Of course, a Beech program that has won 2 state championships under head coach Anthony Crabtree. And as you said, that man Shelton Swafford will be a big reason if Beech is able to storm back in this one. Just about when the legs start to get a little bit tired, that first game action of the season after a long summer and fall camp.
Especially for defensive players. Defense is such an explosive and reactionary thing. A lot of people that will play football will understand what I'm saying. It's trying to put it into a layman's terms, right? Offense dictates pace, and defense constantly has to match it. Sometimes they have to change up, slow down. Sometimes they have to turn up. And for some reason, that kind of takes more of a toll on defense because offense is delivering the blows, right? I think we'll see both defenses get tested. I know Coach Crabtree was wondering about his defense, misaligning and stuff, but this is where their physicality might start to catch up to their lack of discipline and really start to kind of help.
Getting ready to kick it off for Green Hill is Caden Chandler, the senior. Jeremy Laster and Shelton Swafford are back deep as we get ready to kick off the third quarter. Presented by Greenway Kia. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. Glad to have you with us. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan in the booth, Sammy Kincaid on the sideline, and the third quarter is underway. From Green Hill, it's an onside kick, and the Hawks, they're on it. The special teams trickery, always in the back pocket, and they pull it out with the third quarter kickoff. An onside kick, and Green Hill steals away a possession.
The way Beech's season ended, not to bring up old foes, the way Beech's season ended last year was to Springfield in the playoff. A similar situation, a quick onside kick, and we knew Green Hill was going to come in with something. Coach Crouch even told us they're going to come in with something as simple as an onside kick. You see the lead blocker right there. You don't need to touch the football to be able to make contact. They clean it.
He is a former special teams coordinator, and he says he wants that phase of the game to be something that opponents are forced to prepare for. And you're always good for a special teams trick play in the back pocket when you're watching Green Hill football. So the Hawks offense on the field at midfield. Burrows with a strike to Parton down the field. Down at the 25, the senior tight end who had a touchdown catch in the first half. That one's good for 24 yards.
Always awesome to see a young man throw a confident strike. I was sitting down beforehand, now I'm standing up. That was between two defenders through a tight window, right over the shoulder to convert, and Green Hill lines up on the ball quick, wanting to take advantage of this tempo they found.
The BMC Metalworks first down for the Hawks. Burrows keeps that connection with Luke Parton, who we talked about in the first half, missed all of last year with an ACL injury, and they just love to be able to move him around. He can block, he can catch, he can run. And just a real leader on this football team who is happy to be back on the field with his teammates. Man is slow to get up for Beech after the play. And that looks to be Sam Keith. Excuse me, that's Barrett Brown, the senior defensive lineman.
You asked me about the legs, Lucas. I'm going to let the visual aspects of what we do tell the story. As we see, it doesn't seem to be a serious injury. I've seen that walk plenty of times in my lifetime. That looks to be the cramps starting to take effect here in our third quarter early.
It is a nice night for late August, 77 degrees in Mount Juliet. Anthony Crabtree urging on his team. It wasn't so much that he felt they lacked in physicality, but more in discipline in the first half, as he told Sammy Kincaid after halftime.
And there's a few different types of discipline too, right? There's knowing what to do, there's emotional discipline, there's pre-snap, post-snap. They're kind of suffering from pre-snap. They're not getting aligned where they need to be. Green Hill has a lot of motion, eye discipline, gap discipline. Those are the things you have to have if you're going to be successful on defense at this level.
2nd and 1. Green Hill in the red zone after an onside kick to start the third quarter. Cannon Burrows ranging to his right. Has the BMC Metalworks first down, and it'll bring up 1st and goal for the Hawks. BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, celebrating over 5 decades of excellence.
Just a reminder that Cannon Burrows last year had more touchdowns on the ground than he did with his arm. It was a close race. He's efficient in both. He can do both, reliable in both. And those legs are what he's going to rely on when things start to get tough.
Averaged 9 yards per carry last year, did the senior quarterback. 1,000-yard rusher with 13 touchdowns on the ground. And he'll keep it on the ground here. Nice move in the backfield and across the 5. Gets up without his helmet. And you can just see the physicality from Cannon Burrows, the leader of this Green Hill football team. And another Beech player is down after the play.
This is just what I want to mention. Again, there's something mysterious and mystical about defensive football where they're taking the same amount of snaps in an adverse situation. One's delivering the blows and one's taking it, though. So you can see right here, you have 2 men in the gap. Cannon Burrows takes 1 step, gets vertical. Yep, these blocks on the side, you're going to see a lot of bodies go down. Number 28, Wyatt Davis, who we've called out today, been probably one of Beech's most productive defenders. Going to be a tough loss. It's a serious injury. Hopefully we'll see him get back up. It looks like he's struggling with that right hand.
Now as they take a look at Davis, the senior here, we'll hit a break. Green Hill driving up 14 early in the third quarter. He doesn't have to come off for a play now, too.
Oh, Green Hill, dude, this is pretty crazy, to be honest.
They're playing really well.
Offense versus defense. I mean, Beech's offense isn't even really getting that chance. What, they've had 3 series so far, 2?
Green Hill up 14 in the third quarter, and the Hawks principal downstairs. Kevin Dawson with Sammy Kincaid before the game. We always appreciate our hosts on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572 Green Hill High School. A fantastic host for night one of our Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend. Really appreciate Principal Dawson and the entire staff at Green Hill for having us out tonight. More games to come tomorrow night and on Saturday, but we still have almost an entire second half to play here as Green Hill opened the third quarter with an onside kick that was recovered by kicker Caden Chandler. And the Hawks are knocking on the door, looking for their biggest lead of the game. Zach Cartwright getting the carry. He is denied in the backfield. That time, Devin Crutcher moving the junior back backwards.
Makes sense for Green Hill to want to get Cartwright in the run game more, especially in these more physical situations, because you're going to need a guy like Cannon Burrows for your entire season, all right? And Green Hill, they're stepping on the doorstep of kind of leaping over that plateau that we've talked about, right? Well, they're going to need more than just Cannon Burrows to start producing on this offense. Cannon Burrows has had a great night so far. Time to see what we can find where else on the field.
Burrows back on the field after stepping off for a play due to his helmet coming off. And going under center on 3rd and goal. A play action here. Back of the end zone, incomplete over the head of Luke Parton, and it was good coverage by Anton Wright. And the Beech defense bends but does not break. Green Hill will send out the field goal unit. How big of a stop is that for Beech?
It was huge because Green Hill also had some misdirection. They had a little bit of awkward personnel. They had their linebacker, number 20, Omeza Danian. He was in a tight end, rolled out, and it looked like it was going to be one of those freebies that they trick people with. That shows that there was some discipline improvement there by Beech. We talked about Coach Crabtree going into halftime. We can see if they can keep them down to 3 here.
This is Caden Chandler, and it catches a tip on the way, but it deflects in. A 23-yarder by the senior kicker, and Green Hill extends its lead to 17. Largest lead of the night for the Hawks, so the onside kick to start the second half does result in points, but Beech avoids going down into a 21-point hole.
You can see how important it is there to sometimes have that specialist who really, locks into his craft. When I was growing up, anyone who could kick it through the uprights, whether it's squibbled in or was weak, that kick was tipped by a Beech player. We had a few fingers on it, but since there was enough power, those 3 points might be the game changer as we get close to the end of our time in regulation.
Still a long way to go in this one, but remember, we'll be back in action tomorrow in our Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend, and Fridays at 9:30 or Friday after college football. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. See the biggest plays and unbelievable hits. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick gives you highlights, scores, and more for high school football games from across the Mid-State. Fridays at 9:30. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust, who is proud to sponsor local schools and student athletes, both on and off the field. Get a look at our scoring summary. 7 plays, 41 yards. And Caden Chandler had a lot to do with it. Executed the onside kick, recovered it, and kicked the chip shot field goal to extend the lead. And now the Beech Buccaneers will get it back with Jeremy Laster fielding the Greenway Kia kickoff and ranging down the left sideline, scampering out. Beech offense will come back out onto the field for the first time since the end of the second quarter. And we know Beech to be a run-heavy football team, as a Green Hill player is down and being looked at. Being stretched out, hopefully.
It is the case of the cramps.
Right, LeBron Wells, the senior defensive back. So they'll stretch out Wells down on the field. When you look at the difference between these teams, Green Hill looks like it's just humming on offense. It's also a team that brings back 9 starters from a team that went 10-0 in the regular season last year. Meanwhile, Beech lost 7 starters from that 2024 season, but they do have back their quarterback, their 2 running backs, and their left tackle, some other players on the offensive line. if you're Beech, do you just kind of have to keep chipping away with the initial game plan here?
Well, I don't think Beech has ever had a system or a style where it's very intensive to pick up, right? They do things, and they do them at a high level, and they do them well. And if you're coming up, you're expected to perform that same thing at that high level. Green Hill, they have a different thing where they have a lot of movements, a lot of formations, things that might be more mentally intensive. So I think their 9 returning starters is much more effective than Beech, how disaffected they are by losing players. There should be enough talent at Beech to come out and play the way they need to play.
Good first down run by Shelton Swafford, the ETSU commit. Surges forward for a pickup of 6. This was the key the whole way. Anthony Crabtree told us, hold on to the football, keep the defense off the field, and avoid turnovers, which is the one thing they have not done, with the 1 turnover coming on special teams. Swafford again. This time picks up 1, maybe 2, and it brings up 2nd and short. Let's run down to the sideline with Sammy Kincaid to learn more about Shelton Swafford.
Yeah, guys, you just saw him out on the field, but Shelton Swafford and also DK Williams, which you can see both of them back there running the ball, but both of them are very special for multiple reasons, and something that they have in common is they're both adopted. Shelton Swafford was adopted from Haiti at the age of 8. His mom and dad went and got him after there was a really bad earthquake in Haiti, and Swafford loves football. He loves training. He wants to be an NFL football player so badly, and he's overcome a lot to be where he is. He has great parents who give him all of the tools to be successful in life. He was region offensive MVP last year. But like I said, also adopted on that Beech team is DK Williams. He was adopted from the Congo. I spoke with his mom, and she said that the adoption process started in 2013. They weren't able to bring him home until 2016. But they're changing a lot on that Beech side to get him more involved on the defensive side as well as on the offensive side, and simply simplifying some of his reads so that he can be more productive. I talked to DK's mom. She said some of the qualities that really can describe both of them is that they're both very workers, push themselves to the limit and give beyond their best, uses their experiences, good and bad, to propel themselves to do better things, loyal, empathetic, compassionate, and very helpful to be the best teammate that they can possibly be.
Yeah, thank you, Sammy. Just an incredible backstory for both of those guys. You see Swafford there, Williams wearing 44. Beech will get backed up here on a false start to make it 1st and 15. But, Bruno, just the path that they both took to now be teammates at Beech High School, and Anthony Crabtree told us this week, the way that they share that drive to be successful and feed off each other, it's only going to motor this team forward this season.
It's so impressive from young people, too. Part of the reason why I love teaching and coaching. These young people will surprise you.
And Swafford, a guy that is determined to be an NFL player, according to his head coach. The senior headed to ETSU next year. And Beech will lean on him, certainly, to get back into this game. Down 17 as we approach the midway point of the 3rd quarter. Here's a 2nd and long. Anthony Crabtree, the head coach and offensive play caller, looking on. Now in at quarterback is Sawyer Phillips, rolling right. Wants to throw downfield, looking for Laster. It's incomplete. And flags fly. LeBron Wells was in coverage. And looks like it'll be defensive pass interference against Green Hill.
The most common way a defender will pick up pass interference. It's not like there was a malintent as we get the official call real quick.
15 yards.
Brad Hauser, our white hat tonight. Let's take a look here.
Now, when you're turned around, you have to be tracking the football if you're going to make contact. You can see right here, we kind of lose the football, and it's the underthrown ball. We all know the underthrow ball is the bane of a defender's existence, where the receiver comes back into you to make that contact. And if you're the defender not playing the ball, you're going to get called for that every single time.
Sawyer Phillips will stay in the game, the junior quarterback. This time Williams gets the carry. Stiff arm in the backfield. Still on his feet, just trying to escape. And he will be dragged down for a loss. Green Hill stringing him out to the sideline, and in the end, it was Jackson Crawford who made the stop. But Beech looking for a spark as they put in the junior quarterback Phillips, who really performed well in fall camp. They like what he brings as a passer. Attempted 21 passes last season, completed 9 for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. He has replaced Caden Powell.
It makes sense that they bring him in now. You don't want to spring him in a situation where you're down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. Right now, they're letting him start to get used to the offense in a game situation.
No hand to Crutcher here, who is able to pick up 2, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Beech trying to get it back down to a 2-score game.
The human element of football starting to take effect for our eyes to behold. You see the hands on the hips. You see the constant shrugging of the shoulders, the cramping.
Going back under center is Phillips here. He wants to throw. Going deep again. Oh, and it's nearly caught, but incomplete. Intended for Sam Keith, the sophomore tight end, and it brings up 4th down for the Buccaneers. And another Beech player is slow to get up. Down and in pain is left guard Hunter Smith, the junior, being looked at by Beech trainers. So I wonder if it's more cramps here in the 3rd quarter of week 1. And plenty more week 1 coverage still to come here on MyTV 30, our Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend with matchups tomorrow. Pearl Cone taking on MBA. And we'll round out the weekend Saturday night at Tullahoma as well. Hope you'll join us on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. And that Beech offense looks like it's going to stay on the field, Bruno.
You can never prepare enough for a week 1, Lucas. All these situations. Think about all the reps you have to go through, all the different plays, formations, defenses you have to 3-4, 4-3, 3-3 stacks. All these things you have to prepare for. Now you find yourself in an all or nothing situation where you got 2 reps at repping out a 4th and long.
They'll stack it under center again. Hand off to Swafford. He gets across the 35, but will be well short of the marker. It's a turnover on downs. And Green Hill will bring the offense back out onto the field. So the Hawks have the momentum with a 17-point lead in the 3rd quarter. And we'll be right back as their offense retakes the field. Green Hill up 24-7 in Mount Juliet.
Yeah?
It is. It always is. It's like the breeziest nights are always so hot.
Heat rises. Did you know that? I'm a teacher, by the way.
Oof. Educating her. Oh yeah. No, it was good. Yeah, and they were like,
in there. I could tell you were like, oh, I gotta get this over with.
No, but they were subbing each other out. And we were.
I think that new truck, they're like,
Yeah. Green Hill leads 24-7, over 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Stay with us. The school bus stop of the game later on tonight, presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. Stay tuned. Green Hill's already had a couple as the Hawks lead by 17 at home to kick off the 2025 season, and a turnover on downs will bring the Green Hill offense back out onto the field. A group that averaged 32 points per game last season and is on track to hit that mark again here tonight. Camden Burrows. Hands off. Brogdon sheds a man at the line of scrimmage and picks up yardage to the 42. 7-yard gain by the junior. His head coach calls him the Lendale White of the duo between he and Zach Cartwright. Certainly did his best impression there.
I think Brogdon's going to be the key to the late third quarter, the final quarter for Green Hill to finish out this game. Brogdon's going to be able, if you can take a look at the Beech defenders, they're starting to lose their legs on these double teams, these defenses. You get Brogdon with a head of steam, he's going to easily collect an efficient rush, 4 to 6 yards at a guarantee, and maybe start even opening up some explosive plays for the Green Hill offense.
4 carries for 24 yards and the opening touchdown of the game for Piggy Brogdon tonight. Burrows throws under pressure down the left side, just over the head of Dylan Hawks. And he pulls up a little bit at the end of the play. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I don't know what was it at the end there. I think it was a physical thing. Hawks physically could not finish the route, and I mean, which is unfortunate because Burrows, once again, it looked like he threw a ball right at the perfect timing on the end of a route, but the physical aspect starting to show and take a toll.
Zach Cartwright now in the game at running back. And Burrows, see him barking out orders. His head coach told us he can basically call the offense on his own in his 3rd year as this team's starting quarterback. He screens it to his tight end, Luke Parton, who may be just short. And he is. That'll bring up 4th and short on a big stop by the Beech defense. But Green Hill is going to stay on the field here.
DK Williams once again forcing this 4th and short. I mean, Williams has been a star for Beech. He's really the only reason that Green Hill has had some struggles here offensively, if you could even call them that. They're more setbacks than anything. We'll see what they opt to do here on this 4th and short. Now, a reminder, if they don't convert this, Beech goes down and scores. That's like a worst-case scenario, okay? So we'll see what we have.
Well, and the importance of it has Josh Crouch taking his first timeout of the second half with 3:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. So they'll come back to the sideline and talk about it.
It's a conversation a lot of people have, maybe more of an underdog team. I wouldn't say Green Hill was that big of an underdog, right? But certainly I came into the game thinking, Beech is the more traditional power, and they've had more of the postseason success. Well, you get into this situation where we have a pretty sizable lead. What do we want to do? We see a lot of teams kind of, quote-unquote, take that foot off the gas and then struggle a bit. I think Green Hill is going to opt to be aggressive. If you're the guy who needs something to prove, this is your opportunity to prove it. I would prefer probably to punt it here away if it was me, especially with this lead, with this time. But we'll see what Coach Crouch and the Green Hill Hawks have in store for us.
Cannon Burrows, 12 of 19, 141 yards, and a passing touchdown tonight, trying to stake his claim for the UA Local 572 Player of the Game. We'll tell you who that is in the 4th quarter. UA Local 572, the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. They will bring the offense back out onto the field for 4th and 1. Green Hill in its own territory. Trying to be the aggressor tonight at home to open the season. QB sneak up the middle. Burrows has the first down and more as he's down just before midfield. 1,000-yard rusher last season, put on 12 pounds of good weight in the offseason. And it paid off there, churning the legs to move the sticks for a BMC Metalworks first down.
That's a great point because you see those tight splits, you have to know it's either an I formation, a quick, or it's a very, very hard sell key fake for a rollout. As soon as you see those splits, I'm thinking, hey, we got to stack the middle. QB sneak, QB sneak. Green Hill converts. They're threatening the other side of the football field.
Burrows goes back in the gun, and he's going to take off again, but dragged down from behind Wyatt Davis. The senior chasing down Burrows. Loss of 3 on the play.
We saw Wyatt Davis down not too long ago, but that kind of shows the resilience. Beech isn't worried about toughness. They're not worried about physicality or resilience. Wyatt Davis gets back onto the field. And from the backside, they leave him intentionally open, right? He's supposed to be a non-factor. Well, he cuts against the line so hard, Cannon Burrows. He's letting his line develop, and then he just gets caught in the backfield. Great play for Beech.
On 2nd and 13, Burrows has a man popped at midfield. Is Xylon Beard, his first catch. The junior Gets them across the original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd and 8. This feels like a massive drive for the Beech defense to get off the field.
When you watch football games, oftentimes you think, well, when it comes down to that one field goal or that one play in the fourth quarter, that might be the game-defining drive. A lot of the times, the real game-defining drives are found here.
Burrows with a good pocket, lobs down the right sideline. Pfeiffer has the catch and the first down. Pickup of 9, and it's a BMC Metalworks chain mover.
Burrows takes his drop down, a quick 3-step, hits his second read. We have number 11 for Green Hill, Luke Pfeiffer, the senior, 6'1", 180 wide receiver. Green Hill starting to spread it out.
Quick throw here. Parton has the catch, and he's down across the 30. Pickup of 9.
Since that touchdown, Parton has had one route. It's that dig on the left hash every single time. And every single time that Burrows has looked over there, it's been open.
That's 9 catches and over 100 yards for Luke Parton, including a touchdown, and he is going to be a major weapon for the Hawks this season. Second and short on the ground with Brogdon. He will have the first down as he weaves inside the 25. The key to the game before kickoff for us for Green Hill was to match the physicality that Beech brings on a routine basis. Roll with the heavyweights. They've done exactly that tonight.
Yeah, when you imagine a heavyweight fight, we're in round 7, round 8 right now, and Green Hill's currently up 6-1, 6-2 on the scorecard. Excuse me, but we're also in that phase where as we start to head into the fourth quarter, we see the fours, the fists go up on the field. Green Hill has the energy, and you got to remember they're also the home team. Everything seems to be at their advantage, but it just takes one strike to change the dynamic of the fight.
And that will take us into the fourth quarter. Green Hill trying to bring this thing home in week 1, leading the Beech Buccaneers 24-7 on MyTV 30. Yeah, they wouldn't. You're right.
I'm convinced they could throw that whenever they're literally running Parton 4 yards down the field and just turn around and he's open. They could just run that every other play, and I guarantee it will work. I guarantee it. I mean, but again, like, they have 9 starters, same team, same offense. Pick up where they left off. It's weird. Even with same players, it always feels like a new team. Yeah. But they're kicking their tails. Beech doesn't look. They really don't. Got 44. 44. Why is? Like D-line is not a factor.
Well, they got a good amount doing this week. What's that?
I didn't say it.
No.
I was talking to the truck.
Okay. 3 quarters down, 1 to go in week 1. The Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. This thing was tied up at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Since then, it's been all Green Hill. The Hawks on a 17-0 run at home and with the football, trying to grind out a Week 1 victory here in Mount Juliet. Welcome back alongside Bruno Reagan in the booth. I'm Lucas Panzica, Sammy Kincaid on the sideline. Glad to be with you as we kick off a big Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend. Look at that slate of games. Tomorrow night, Pearl Cone visiting MBA, and on Saturday, Shelbyville hits the road to take on Tullahoma. Glad to be back. That first football action of any season across levels is always at the high school football level, and we're glad to be here. On 1st and 10, Burrows, quick throw down the left side and inside the 5-yard line. He connects with Aiden Sadler, who is back at Green Hill after spending his junior year in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and he rejoins a bunch of his former teammates for his senior year of high school. And that brings up 1st and goal for the Hawks.
Feel like we've called out a majority of the Green Hill roster, all 90 or so names that are on here for offensive production. It's been a really, really impressive Week 1 showing for the Green Hill Hawks. I mean, outside of that early mistake with the 3rd and 26 on defense, they've been extremely consistent.
Yeah, Green Hill doing a nice job of spreading the ball around. 6 different pass catchers tonight for the Hawks. This is 1st and goal on the 4-yard line upcoming. And back underway after moving the chains. Burrows trying to finish this game off. It's been an excellent performance from the UT Martin commit. Pledged to the Skyhawks earlier this summer. Cartwright in motion, gets the carry. Around the right side, Zach Cartwright is in, and Green Hill is rolling at home. Four yards for the junior back, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it's another South College touchdown for Green Hill. South College, where dreams find direction.
It's clear that Green Hill knows where they're strong and where they're good at. I mean, this jet sweep faked a inside handoff. It gets the D lineman, it plants your feet, so that way you can't laterally change direction. Once Cartwright finds that light going tight off of the line of scrimmage, I mean, Green Hill's just making it look too easy.
Caden Chandler, a little bit of trouble on the snap, but he gets the extra point up and in. And the lead is 24 for Green Hill High School. After a team goes undefeated in a regular season, it's hard to say that you want to elevate the following year, but that's exactly what Josh Crouch wants to do in 2025. Left 2024 with a bitter taste in their mouths after a perfect regular season, but a blowout loss to Blackman in the first round. And Crouch said he realized that each of the last 2 years, Green Hill has been bounced in the first round, and the team they lost to was the best team they had seen all season. So they were very intentional in their scheduling, which is why they're opening the season with a program like Beech. And next week, they'll be right here against the Page Patriots. And to follow that up, they'll head to Ravenwood and then Centennial to round out the first 4 weeks to prepare themselves for region play and hopefully for Green Hill postseason play down the stretch. But hard to think of a better confidence booster if they can close this thing out than a win over the Beech Buccaneers at home.
And when I ask the questions I would usually ask of a team in this situation where you maybe get this win tonight and then you find yourself in that elevated mode, maybe do we buy into our Kool-Aid a little too much? I mean, with the 9 returning stars, this is a Green Hills team that's been there, done that. I think they're mature enough to handle the circumstance of their own success.
Swafford trying to get his team back in the game on the Greenway Kia kickoff. Gets loose down the left side across the 40. Shelton Swafford still alive across midfield, and he's down. And we'll see if that brings a spark for Beech. Still a lot of ball left, over 11 minutes. Beech with all 3 timeouts. Down 24 on the road. 11 plays on that last series by Green Hill, followed by a 41-yard kick return by Shelton Swafford.
But the nature of Beech's offense puts them in a little bit of a predicament because they're such a run-heavy offense, right? Let's say everything goes precisely as planned. We're still, looking down the barrel of a 3-score game. It's going to eat up clock regardless.
Caden Powell is back in at quarterback, and the Kentucky baseball commit goes to the quick game to Brock Miller, the senior, who they really want to get involved this season. Has stood out, had a fantastic fall camp, both at safety and receiver. And looks like Powell will stay in after stepping onto the sideline in the last series in favor of Sawyer Phillips. Second and 7 for the Buccaneers in Green Hill territory, trying to take advantage of that kick return by Swafford. Powell will run off of a tackle, and the second effort gets him down. Hayden Kennedy wrapping him up, but it will bring up 3rd and short for Beech.
Beech is without a doubt 4-down territory, so even if there's a stop right here, I'd imagine Beech will go for it. So the stakes are as high as they could possibly be for the Buccaneers. Chance to get back in this game.
Excuse me, Bruno. Need this first down. They might do it trying to run behind that man, Jack Fuchs, the Penn State commitment. They'll go up the middle. And Powell's got the first down, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law to keep the drive alive. Jack Fuchs, 6'9", 295 pounds, moved to Nashville with his dad, Scott Fuchs, who's the assistant offensive line coach to Bill Callahan for the Tennessee Titans. Offers from all over the country. He is headed up to play for James Franklin and Penn State. And trying to help this Beech offense grind away on this series, get back in the game. They'll run up the middle again. Powell, a battering ram to the 25, and they'll mark him down to the 26.
Clock is going to wind down into a sub-9 minute. Beech in essentially what is a must-score situation. You never want to use, I really hesitate to use the words must-score or must-do, but staring down the deficit that they're facing, even for emotional support and emotional reasons, if you want this comeback to be believable, it has to happen within a reasonable time frame.
Anthony Crabtree, Beech head coach, he's seen it all in over 20 years. Looking to lead his team back here down 24, and they're sticking with Powell on the ground here as he gets close to the marker. It'll bring up 3rd and less than a yard. But this is better from Beech, their most productive series since their opening series, a 14-play drive that was aided by a Green Hill penalty, but ended in their lone touchdown of the night by Shelton Swafford. Big 3rd down upcoming for the Buccaneers.
Beech having to use all 4 of their downs every single series. It's putting a toll on Green Hill. It's also putting a toll on the clock that they have to play with.
Swafford, behind left guard, has the first down, and he's in the Green Hill red zone. And now this feels like the Beech we felt like we were going to get coming into this game.
Yeah, and I mean, I expected them to have a somewhat of a success, due to the softening process. They've been setting themselves up. It just felt like Beech never had a chance on offense to really get going. I mean, Green Hill, they controlled the time of possession. The things that Crabtree was talking to us about coming into the week, keeping them off the field. Green Hill really did a great job of keeping their offense off the field and not really giving them a chance to show what they can do.
Powell loses the football, has to pick it up and run with it. Busted play for Beech, and he loses yardage with Kennedy cleaning it up for the Hawks. Loss of 1 as the clock continues to roll. And to your point, special teams a factor again for Green Hill in that department, stealing away a possession with a muff punt, and of course the onside kick to open the 3rd quarter.
Yep, we saw right there a little bit of a mental error with running back D.K. Williams, who also doubles as the leading tackler and linebacker. He accidentally, looks like Powell was going to take a throw, and Williams took the ball away from his hands. A little bit of a mental error there for Beech.
Handoff, Williams rolls off a tackle, down to the 15. And we are under 7 minutes to play. as this brings up 3rd and 6. DK Williams, one of the many juniors on this Beech roster. Powell will run. Up the middle, still on his feet, and down inside the 10. He's got the first down. Presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. 1st and goal for the Buccaneers.
Simple zone concepts here for Beech. Powell, he's made a lot of contact with his own teammates here in this series.
Center Jonas Green felt that one from his quarterback.
He did. Yeah, it makes sense why he popped up a little bit aggravated after that play.
You ever caught one from your quarterback in a play like that?
A quarterback, no. Absolutely
Kyle Shermer
not.
wasn't really running it up the middle that way?
Could not run a yard. Sorry.
He could sling it, though. Keep it on the ground again. Chipping away. Swafford up the middle. Stretches the football. Touchdown, Beech. The Buccaneers refusing to go quietly. And Shelton Swafford has his 2nd touchdown of the night. As Beech is able to draw closer deep into the 4th quarter.
For Beech, that was just their normal gap scheme power, the things that they've done for decades at this point with Coach Crabtree, performing it at a high level, executing, making it efficient, putting their running back on secondary players in the one-on-one situation. They convert. Problem is they chewed up about half the clock they have to play in one series when they need a few more.
Mendoza kicks the extra point. And the lead for Green Hill is back down to 17. And the Hawks will get it back here as we get near the end of the 4th quarter in week 1.
Hold on, I'm getting mind blown. Are you right?
I would have said something if you didn't go to break.
Well, I think that's just.
I've been getting these spam calls just randomly from Birmingham, and the voicemail they leave just says goodbye. It's freaking me out.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
$17-point lead for Green Hill after a long drive for Beech, trying to get back in it. Welcome back to Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. You're looking at Shelton Swafford capping a 10-play, 47-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown run, his 2nd one of the night. Bruno Reagan, are you surprised Beech didn't go for 2 to try to make it a 2-score game there?
I am surprised, and I'm really surprised it took you mentioning it while we were off air quickly to kind of do the math in our head. I think that's kind of getting lulled into this. So football can be a simple game. I mean, there's 11 people, but we know that there's a flow to it, especially as a coach. You're focused on different things, maybe, morale or something. But it would have been right to go for 2 there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Beech is staring down what would be if we had if I had to take a guess, I would believe this would be like a 99% win on one of the other programs' predictors. It has been all Green Hill. We'll see if Beech can do something here on special teams and defense to maybe give themselves a window.
Nate Kroll lining up an onside kick attempt. We saw Green Hill pull off the surprise onside kick to start the 3rd quarter. And here the Bucks will give it a go with the senior. Ball takes a hop, And it's out of bounds. Flag will fly. So Green Hill will get it back up 17 at home in week 1. Plenty more high school football to come here on MyTV 30. Our Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend continues tomorrow as Pearl Cone visits Montgomery Bell Academy. Hope you'll join us right at 7 p.m. So this Green Hill offense will come back out onto the field. And on the ground is where Green Hill has made its living tonight. 135 rush yards, averaging 4.8 yards per carry is the Hawks offense. And it's something they felt good about coming into the season. Josh Crouch said behind this experienced offensive line in fall scrimmages, they'd been averaging about 8 yards per carry. They just had to take it onto the field against one of the most physical teams in the Mid-State in Beech. And they'll keep it going here with Zach Cartwright getting loose across the 30. Cartwright pushed out of bounds near the 20. J.R. French eventually gets him out. So that is 27 yards and a Bart Durham injury law first down for the junior running back.
This is that softening process you will hear not only today, but probably every game in the season, especially with these rushing attacks. Lucas just mentioned how efficient they've been on the ground, but efficient is different from explosive. Well, now we see Green Hill's offensive line played an astounding game so far. They're still running their feet till the end of the whistle. That's allowing the running backs, specifically Cartwright for Green Hill, to have that one-on-one with a linebacker or safety that's maybe been in one too many tackles today and making it explosive.
And they'll get a chance to continue this drive in the red zone. Cartwright picks up about 5 there. And this will chew some clock for Green Hill. We'll send it down back to the sideline to Sammy Kincaid.
Yeah, guys, you were just talking about that rush game that Green Hill has, and it doesn't happen without the guys up front. And number 66, Gavin Euler, he's the right guard. He's the oldest of 6 brothers. His younger brother, Gabe, is number 35 on the defensive line. And Gavin has really had to step up to be the man in his house. Their dad, Tyrone, has lung cancer. And while his dad's been fighting his battle against cancer, Gavin has really stepped up, and he's been taking his siblings on fishing trips that have become a very special bonding time for the siblings. If Tyrone Euler's name sounds familiar, he played for Tom Osborne at Nebraska. He was a linebacker in the 90s. We're there with you, Tyrone. Our thoughts are with you. And that's something that Coach has really said, that Gavin not only steps up for his siblings, but he's really stepped up for this team and a leader on this team.
Yeah, thank you, Sammy. You could just hear Josh Crouch beaming when talking about Gavin Euler and the way that he stepped up. All the best to his father, Tyrone, who doesn't miss any games in the middle of his fight with cancer. And if you played for Tom Osborne at Nebraska, there's a certain toughness that you had to have. And odds are you probably won a national championship, which Tyrone Euler certainly did in his time there. Wishing him all the best in his fight. Cannon Burrows running over a man into the end zone, trying to put the cherry on top to an incredible night for the Green Hill Hawks. 13 yards and a South College touchdown for the senior signal caller. The Green Hill lead back to 23. And this home crowd is loving the start to the season that they're seeing here in Mount Juliet.
We kind of see Burrows right here. I mean, the excitement for Beech to tackle on the edge, when you get in these situations in these games, it starts to reveal a little bit about yourself. And Burrows might as well have gone untouched in the end zone, even though he was surrounded by a few potential Beech defenders. Green Hill they've taken it. They wanted this game, and they took it today.
Coming out for the extra point is Caden Chandler.
After play.
That is the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for Green Hill. It caps a 4-play, 47-yard drive. And that's the 2nd total touchdown by Burrows. 1 in the air, 1 on the ground for the 3rd-year starter at quarterback. And he's going to be a huge reason for Green Hill's success all season. Chandler, 36 of 39 in his PATs last year. And he will remain perfect tonight, making it a 38-14 ball game with under 4 minutes to go. Cannon Burrows, the UT Martin commit, leading the charge as the Hawks are flying at home. Up 24 over Beech in week 1. After the play. All Green Hill here in week 1, 38-14 after the 13-yard touchdown run by Cannon Burrows. We welcome you back to the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. A huge thanks to Green Hill High School for having us, to all of our fantastic sponsors tonight, including the folks at Wilson Bank and Trust, who we thank for tonight's financial tips. More high school football to come on the Friday Night Rivals kickoff weekend, tomorrow night and on Saturday. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. right here on MyTV 30. Green Hill Band having a good time watching their Hawks kick off the season emphatically. Was 7-7 after the first quarter. Since then, it's been all Green Hill, outscoring Beech 31-7. Since that point, Bruno Reagan, Lucas Panzica with you in the booth, Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline. And Green Hill has come in and done exactly what they set out to do tonight, Bruno, winning that battle up front and just grinding away against a Beech team that is known for their physicality across the state.
I think what impressed me most was they had situations where maybe they got a little too high, a little too energized, and maybe that affected their play. They got back down to the middle. They had things where that went wrong, and then they immediately went back out and played at a high level. I think that constant bringing back down to the consistency when things go right or things go wrong, that's really impressed me the most about this Green Hill team tonight.
Another Greenway Kia kickoff coming up here for Caden Chandler. Had a nice night, the Green Hill kicker. Converted a field goal, perfect on his PATs, and an onside kick executed at the start of the third quarter. Personal foul after the touchdown backed up the kickoff, so it'll give Beech good field position as Davis fell on it. Beech head coach Anthony Crabtree in year 21, and may not be his night tonight, but you look across the board at some of the crazy numbers. 18 straight years in the playoffs, 2 state championships as the head coach at Beech. Another one, Bruno, Anthony Crabtree has not lost a game in Wilson County since October 11th, 2013. You and I were still in high school. That was over 4,300 days ago. And barring something miraculous here, it'll be that man, Josh Crouch, that ends that streak, who just happened to be on the staff of the Wilson Central team that last defeated Anthony Crabtree in Wilson County. Long ball down the left sideline. It is tipped up and incomplete. So Green Hill ending that streak, but more importantly for the Hawks, trying to start another streak of wins after an undefeated regular season in 2024.
Certainly have a few challenges still ahead of them early in the season before they even get into region play, which it's not like they're in a cupcake region either. We mention all the time that they went undefeated, but they haven't hit with the heavyweights. They're still in a pretty good football region that they're going to have to overcome, too.
Swafford darting up the middle. And Beech will stay on the road. A very road-heavy slate to open the season for the Buccaneers. They will head to Mount Juliet in week 2, so they'll keep it in Wilson County. And Anthony Crabtree will look to start a new streak. And then we'll return home against Henry County in week 3, and then East Nashville in week 4, before going back on the road for another 3 straight games. So 5 of Beech's first 7 games before the bye week will be away from home. Here's DK Williams getting a give. Meanwhile, the grind continues for Green Hill as they will remain at home next week to host 5A finalists for multiple years in a row now, Page High School, next week before back-to-back road trips to Williamson County to face Ravenwood and Centennial.
Certainly have their hands full with Page. We got to see them at the tail end of our casting last season, a 4-time straight finalist.
Sawyer Phillips back in at quarterback for Beech. He'll throw deep. Jeremy Laster in the neighborhood, but covered well by Sean Kimbrough.
Looks like a flag on the play. Potentially on the defense is what it seems to be. Maybe an early defensive pass interference before we got into frame there on that catch.
Here's the play.
Josh Crouch coaching to the end here.
15-yard penalty.
2:22 to play. Like we were in for a fist fight after the first quarter. Green Hill got the football, went on a 9-play drive that was capped by a Piggy Brogdon 4-yard touchdown run, but Beech had an answer. They were backed up on a 3rd and 26, and a personal foul by Green Hill renewed the drive for Beech. They were able to finish it with a Shelton Swafford touchdown, tied up at 7 after the first quarter. Since then, Green Hill has taken this game and run with it. Knifing in to make a big stop there is the Green Hill defense. And we'll pause for the Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. And it was to open up the second half. Green Hill leading 21-7, getting ready to kick it back to Beech, or so we thought. And it's always the special teams with Josh Crouch and his Hawks. The surprise onside kick executed and recovered by Caden Chandler.
Yep, they ended up scoring off of this drive, and it just kind of shows we've seen 2 offensive kicks. The first one, which was Green Hill, it had a setup, it had a mission. They had a place they wanted to put the football. They had a place where they wanted to make contact. Beech's was a little more, the normal, where it's like kind of a wishful, hopefully we get the bounce. Green Hill, they play like they want to control every moment of football.
And that's how they'll take their mentality to Page when the Patriots come here next week. 3rd down here, Beech trying to get back on the board as we approach the 1-minute mark. Phillips has his man Davis down the left sideline, goes out of bounds inside the 10, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Buccaneers. And an Anthony Crabtree coach team always will play to the final whistle, expecting that here from the Bucs, who once again expect to be contenders in region play this season. They're in Region 6 in 2025. We'll open region play in Week 6 against Hunters Lane on the road.
The competitor in them, they come here and they expect to win, and when you go away, especially from a home game like this, you have time to think about it. It is a little bit of a blow, especially when you're a team as prestigious as Beech, but I have no doubt that Crabtree will get them back in motion.
DK Williams will be one of those guys as well, rolling into the end zone for a Beech touchdown. First one of the season for the young man that was adopted from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, brought to Beech High School, where he has found a home with the rest of his teammates. The junior running back gets in, and Beech gets back on the board, cutting the Green Hill lead to 18, with Mendoza on the field for the extra point.
Saw was Beech's usual, the gap scheme power led by Grady Edwards, the junior offensive lineman on that pull there.
Mendoza's extra point is good. That's a 7-play, 52-yard drive for the Buccaneers. 38-21, the score with 37 seconds to go as we pause for our school bus stop of the game.
This is the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
And it was Sawyer Phillips under center on a 4th down. Shelton Swafford got the give. It was a must-have for Beech, but the Green Hill defense got off the field.
Green Hill on each phase of the football game has had a game-defining play, so it's been a real team effort from all 3 phases.
Game presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Paid for by NHTSA. So with 37 seconds left, Green Hill will receive this Greenway Kia kickoff and see this thing out. What a night for Josh Crouch and his Hawks. And to do it against an opponent the likes of Beech, a 5A powerhouse in Middle Tennessee. Hard to imagine a more satisfying victory to open the season for Green Hill High School. Beech going for the onside kick again, and it will be recovered by the Hawks. Crawford had a hand on it, couldn't quite hang on, but coming in to clean it up was Will Butler, the senior. And that will just about do it. Although a Green Hill man is down after that onside kick, it is Jackson Crawford. And you hate to see this at the end of a game where the final is all but decided. Jackson Crawford being looked at. He has had a huge offseason, and this coaching staff has felt like he is poised for a big year in that safety spot. So as he's being looked at, we'll take a look again at the onside kick. Just rolls up on his left leg there.
That's going to be a serious injury. This one isn't going to be cramps. It could be a combination of things, knee, ankle, a lot of, and that's just kind of the nature of pileups, especially with a wild play like an onside kick.
And that is just the last thing that you want to see at the end of such a positive night for Green Hill High School.
Especially because of the situation we're in, too. We're in a bit of a run-the-clock-out situation. It's just unfortunate.
Jackson Crawford playing his senior year in a team full of seniors, just looking to make another run, shooting for another perfect regular season and a deeper playoff run in 2025. It's a tough moment for his fellow seniors and the rest of his team here as Green Hill's wrapping up a 17-point victory. Just hate to see anything take away from the positivity of the night out here in Mount Juliet. So Jackson Crawford still being looked at with trainers, coaches on the field. Anthony Crabtree, you can see Beech head coach there as well. Doesn't matter what sideline you're on, this is always a tough pill to swallow. So we certainly will refrain from showing the replay again on the injury to Jackson Crawford on the onside kick. Just how do you even digest this kind of moment if you're a member of the Green Hill Hawks, and just how good of a night it's been, this performance, to see one of your teammates go down for potentially a serious injury at the end of the game?
Well, for one thing, it's your job as a teammate. When someone goes down, you bring an upward energy, right? So right now, it's going to be, because this is going to be a real injury, right? So you're going to tap him up, you're going to give him love, you want him to still be a part of the team, even in whatever situation, whether he can come back and play in a reasonable amount of time or, worst case scenario. So it's your job as a teammate to really bring that hopeful energy to this young man, because the entire stadium audience right now is quiet. So if at the first moment when they start getting him up on that field, go up and let your brother know, hey, I'm here for you, and we're a team, man.
It's a tight-knit program. It has been from the beginning. When you consider the beginnings of Green Hill High School, who just recently graduated their first ever senior class, a program that had its first football season in the fall of 2020. A school, a program started from scratch, and Josh Crouch has been there since the beginning. So hard to fathom the kind of connection that breeds among players, coaches, families, staffers, faculty of the high school. And that has continued, that culture for Green Hill, into 2025. And this program is to the point now where every player has spent, unless they transferred in, every year of high school at Green Hill, which wasn't the case for a couple of seasons there, as a cart will be rolled out to midfield to get Jackson Crawford some medical attention.
Yep, they just need to get it stable enough, then load him up, get him off the field into some primary medical care.
So Crawford in an air cast, and good to see him back on his feet.
On the replay, it did look bad, but you never know. Especially, I've had some teammates have some pretty serious sounding and looking injuries and find a way to battle back. It's still a long football season. I don't want to, assume anything at this point, but
tough moment at the end of such a bright night for Green Hill High School. So a lot of emotions in this building here. And you see Green Hill head coach Josh Crouch talking to his senior, Jackson Crawford. Before he gets carted off the field. Just something you never, ever want to see, especially at this level. And that will be the final football play of the night, as Green Hill will come out here and take a knee to end this football game. Wrapping up a 38-21 victory, but everyone will be thinking and checking in on Jackson Crawford after this one goes final, as the crowd cheers him off here at Green Hill High School. So wishing that young man the best and hoping for a quick recovery. Like you said, it's a long season. This thing goes until the end of October, and if you're a program like Green Hill showing what you showed tonight, you expect to be playing through November as well. So, a somber moment as the victory formation comes out, takes a knee, and Green Hill will have Jackson Crawford absolutely at the front of their minds, but at the same time, he and the rest of his team will celebrate this win. Final score from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, Green Hill 38, Beech 21 in week 1 of the 2025 season on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Sammy Kincaid will catch up with head coach Josh Crouch, see if we can get an update on Jackson Crawford, and we'll give you our player of the game and give out some hardware when we come back on My TV 30.
I know. Well, that's what I was hoping they would help us. Dude. Good job, Lucas.
Burrows.